Hello, hello everybody. How are you this Wednesday afternoon? We made it to the middle of the week. Josie and I just wanted to talk a little bit today. It's a coffee with the sisters. You guys know how we are. We have to have our coffee, but you know what? We're actually drinking water today. So we're calling it coffee with the sisters because that's what we call it. And most of the time it's coffee. But today we're being good and drinking water.
Well, and when you intend to get around to your sesh by 10 and it doesn't happen till afternoon, hey,
Oh, yeah.
welcome. Can we do a quick sound check because we have fancy sound systems. We want to make sure that you can hear us well.
Stephanie, we're listening to you. Can you guys hear us okay? Baby's right here. Baby's right here.
Yeah. Can you guys hear us?
Let us know if you can hear us.
Tell us if the sound's good because we've got our lavaliers. Excellent.
Yay! Sound is clear.
Excellent.
Someone,
A little muffled?
Diane said the sound is a little muffled. Both of us are muffled?
Or one of us. I hear you fine. We can hear you.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, we're just going to move forward and
Good.
we'll listen to it on replay and see if there's something we can do to make it even better as we go along. So something has been on our minds and hearts. It's actually something has been a part of our journey for a long time. And this week on Instagram, I posted something that really seemed to resonate with people. And it was a picture of Maddie and I, and we talked about how a huge part of, or one of our core values as a business is really supporting moms in business and making it so that they don't have to choose, that they can mix being a mom and blessing their family with income in a way that is just a blessing to them and to their children and to their families. And so that's something that we really, really value, that we love being able to do that. And it looks a little different in different ways. We love that we provide a product that makes it possible for women to create in their passion and make an extra income making. We create products for that. And then also we make the office here conducive to mom life as well. So it's a little crazy here. We've got mats on the floor and we've got play gyms and we've got changing tables. But it's important to us that our team members, and including ourselves, don't have to choose. And we love that, and that's a value to us. And then, of course, our team members that are remote as well can work from home and
work it around their family schedule.
Our amazing super mom hero, Jen, is our admin, and her daughter does dance. And if any, is it dance that she does? I think she's, Maddie, is it dance? Jen's daughter. I think it's dance. Sorry, Jen, if I'm wrong on that. But she has a lot of out-of-town events and meets. And so this allows her to do that. So just things like that. That's something that we feel privileged to be able to be a part of. So,
well, especially because if you put it in context of what it was like when my oldest, for example, were little, it wasn't an option. And it has such an impact on the family because Aaron was working 2 jobs. And he, when I first started working after my littles were old enough to do that, it would be I was waitressing because he would get home after his first job and I would leave and go waitress. So we were those passing ships. And that you know, I mean, if you have to do that, you have to do that. You do what you got to do. But being able to not do that and have our time together after work hours.
It's awesome.
It is awesome.
And so we just thought we would just get on here and kind of expound about that mom work-life balance, because even though we love providing that, it's a thing. I mean,
it is. And anyone who makes it look easy,
it's not. It's not. And I know that not a lot of people talk about this subject, about when you work from home, when you own your own business, when you're working remote, what does that look like? And how how can you best do that? So we just had 3 thoughts that we wanted to cover, and we do kind of have to be a little quick because we have a 2:00 appointment today. So we're cutting it close. It took us longer to get set up, but it always does.
To get set up.
It always does. So here are the points that we wanted to cover. Number 1, balance is an elusive myth. And I know this because part of my journey, first of all, some of you know this, but actually not very many of you know that Wayne and I struggled with fertility issues for years, and it took us a long time to have children. And when we did, it was it's something that when you go through that struggle of infertility, everyone cherishes their children, but you have an understanding of that it's a miracle. Like having those children is such a miracle. And so because of that, it was extra important to me that I just really make sure that I'm keeping them my priorities. So that's just kind of a little backstory, but I still loved the idea of being able to, Josie and I, as you know, we have an entrepreneurial spirit and we're always thinking of ideas. And so it was inevitable that that was part of my journey, is bringing an income into the home. I just loved doing it. We didn't always need it, but it made me feel good. It made me feel like I was in my purpose. And so I knew that was going to be part of my journey. Now, what that journey looked like was ever changing, and that's what I learned. I learned that you can't have a fixed mom work balance. It's always changing because your phases, your children are constantly changing.
Yeah.
And so I would work out these systems and think, I've got it nailed, I've got it figured out, I've got this on this day and this on this day, and then suddenly a child is sick, or their ages and stages change, and things are disrupted. So one thing I learned is be flexible. That is more important than finding balance, is being flexible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. And I think we've all heard the idea or the saying, like, when I'm at work, I'm at 100% at work, presence. And when I'm with kids, I'm 100% presence, or with family. And for some people, that might work. It depends on your business, your family, your lifestyle. There's a lot of moving parts to that. And for us, that doesn't work that way.
Doesn't work.
It doesn't
We're blending both at the same time.
Blending and integrating.
Like this.
Yeah. Blending and integrating is kind of been our, like, let's shift and try this. And it definitely is different, but anyways, I don't want to get ahead of our next point.
I know.
Efficiency, it does. Efficiency is not always the most important thing.
This is huge.
It is huge, and because we tend to think like, oh, I'm not being productive enough.
Right.
And it depends on, so I've heard influencers say this, like, how do you define success? And we tend to have a mindset that defines success with our productivity and with our finances and things, but success can look like having a business that involves our family, or that blends with our family in a way that works for our family, and not measuring like how efficient it is as far as work productivity.
Exactly. And
rather focusing on how is this working for my family. And one super simple challenge that I've been challenged with, that I'm changing, I'm stretching myself, and that's another thing, as Sally was talking.
We have not arrived.
No, we have not arrived. But you also set out looking like, or I did anyways, thinking, okay, I can make this work. I just have to train my kids.
Right.
To do this and do that. And I tried that, and I said, Gavin, when mommy is working in this time slot is when I need this to be mommy work time. And so you're going to be doing your work. I'm going to be doing my work. And daddy can answer questions if he, that wasn't working at all. And so I came full circle and said, you know what? I need to just stop what I'm doing, making designs for our people, pause and give him my attention and say, what do you need, hon? And and give him my attention for a moment. And then, and I'm bad at this, I do not refocus quickly because I tend to focus super intensely and then come out of the fog to answer my son. And it takes me a little bit to get back on the flow of things. And I realized that's okay. Like I fought against that for a long time, but I realized it's okay. Our business is working around the lifestyles of our families and of our employees. And that's what matters to us.
We still have memories of when our parents took us to work. And that's a big part of who we are and what we're doing today is because we saw them do those things too. And so, like, we have memories of them taking us to the
flea market.
Auction.
So our parents were entrepreneurs and salesmen and saleswomen, and we would go to Denial's auction early. I think we got up at like 3, and they tagged us along to sell Levi's pants. Some of you may have heard of the Fashionable Fleet. Our uncles owned they distributed, I think it was Seconds, and our parents did some work for them. And for a few years, we were tagging along to the flea market, and we can remember the smells and the vendors and all these things about it. For another period of time, our parents sold Kirby vacuum cleaners, and they actually had a repair shop. And you were probably an infant.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of memories.
Yeah, you were too little. I was old enough to remember that at lunchtime, my mom and I would walk to this was in Folsom, actually, I think. Would walk down to the corner market and get an It's It ice cream. And that was a regular thing. And I remember that time with my mom in that work environment. And that's a blessing to me. It didn't take from me. It gave to me.
Right.
So,
which leads us to our next point. We're really rolling here with our points.
We are.
Rolling into each other. Working can pour into our kids.
Oh, hi, Yancy.
Oh, hey, Mom. My mom is on here. Okay. My mom-in-law, in case you're curious. Josie and I are sisters, but Yancy is Wayne's mom. Okay. So working can pour into our kids' buckets instead of taking from them. And a lot of times we think that way. We think that if we're working with our kids present, that we're taking from them somehow. That can be true. I don't want to say that that's not always true, but it doesn't have to be. If you can create in a way that if you're like Josie did, she decided that when Gavin comes to me, I'm going to give him my attention. And that's going to look different for different people.
Absolutely.
We're not saying that if you do have your office time and you're expecting your kids to respect that's not okay. Our point is that you decide, you get to create and prioritize in the way that you want to, and it can look different ways.
Absolutely.
And it absolutely can pour into your kids and be a part of them like our parents were.
Don't you think that's even more common, or at least historically has been in other cultures than it is in our culture? And maybe in part because we have such a fast-paced, career-focused culture. Yeah. In fact, I've heard other people say, in America, you live to work. In my country, we work to live. A completely different mindset. So I don't know, but I was just thinking, I know in some other countries it's what they're bringing up their children alongside them.
There's no other option.
Right.
That's the kids go with, and that's part of how they learn, and they start helping at a very young age as well, in the workplace and the work environment.
Yes.
So that's it, you guys. Those are 3 very quick points. Things that we've learned along the way and the way that we do it. We hope it's a blessing to you. We hope that you're able to take something away from today. If nothing else, we got to hang out together and have a good time. If this doesn't apply to you, thanks for being here anyway.
Yeah, and if it doesn't apply to you, but you have tips that work for you, feel free to pipe those in.
Yeah, let's keep the conversation going.
Like Sally said, we have not arrived. No, this is a constant work in progress, but some of the things in shifting and tweaking the way we're looking at it that we find helpful.
Yep.
So.
Okay, you guys, we're going to sign off. Keep the conversation going. We're going to pop into the conversation continually throughout the day, and we hope that you have a great rest of the week. Okay?
Bye.
Bye.